they don't want us to see them is the idea, right? Because like they leave clues like crop circles and
they're flirting.
You know, farmers are dumb as they don't even know how to read. So how are they going to read how are they going to read a crop circle, right? And then
Kalyne, you agree with this, right?
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when World War III almost happened, but then aliens stopped it?
Yeah.
Where were you when that happened?
Really? I was here.
What happened?
You don't remember that?
No.
Where were you? Where were you, Joe?
Probably swimming.
Okay.
Swimming.
So yeah, there was an incident where Russian fighter jets once fired at possible extraterrestrial life forms after a pair of UFOs nearly caused World War III to break out, according to sworn testimony shared to Congress. The testimony was given by a guy named George Knapp. You heard of George Knapp before? You've probably seen him before. If you follow the UFO field, he is a Las Vegas-based journalist who broke the Bob Lazar story.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which has been kind of crazy recently because we've heard a lot of things that Bob Lazar was saying like 30 years ago, actually, or longer, kind of regurgitated in the Congress by this guy named David Grush, who's a UFO whistleblower. And you guys, I'm sure you guys followed that intensely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really intensely.
Bart fills me.
Intensely.
Whistleblower dude that recently had his like thing go public.
Yes.
That guy.
What do you think of that one, Ryan?
I don't think he's a whistleblower because he was permitted to speak on behalf of it.
He was permitted to speak after filing a report, a whistleblower's report. That's what made him be allowed to speak, but he still has to keep it all kind of under wraps. Like he can't quite say everything.
It's not like what's his name, like Snowden when he blew whistle, they were fucking coming after him.
Yeah, they were mad at him.
But then this
him
dude,
and Assange.
he's like allowed to speak. This guy.
Well, because he did a data dump, Snowden. He just dumped everything.
But this guy can't do that.
Well, he wants to do it under the law or he'll go to jail. So you can be a whistleblower, but you can't spread classified information. So he can talk around certain
Oh,
things.
that's different. Yeah.
So he's like a.
Exactly, little tiny whistle. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's not a
He's a
whistleblower.
kazoo kid.
Yeah, a permitted whistleblower.
He's more like a mouth breather.
He doesn't even have a whistle.
So in this testimony, right, Mr. Knapp said that Russians had carried out what was probably the largest UFO investigation in history, spanning over a decade. And he said that he spoke personally to a Russian military official who said that there had been no less than 45 different incidents where Russian fighter jets had clashed with UFOs, with Russian jets crashing in 3 of those incidents, resulting in the deaths of 2 pilots during these incidents. One incident that really raised alarm bells, though, was at a Russian ICBM base in Ukraine. Intercontinental missiles. UFOs somehow took control of the launch system.
What?
They appeared over a base, right? So you just see the base. UFOs appear. They're like moving at all different angles and maneuvers that make no sense, right?
Yeah, flying backwards and shit.
Exactly. Then they're going upside down and shit.
Yeah, changing directions midair. That's wild.
So then they take control of the launch system. The missiles at the time were aimed at the U.S. They were suddenly fired up, like ready to go, right?
Oh, shit.
Launch control codes get completely entered, and the base couldn't have stopped what was about to happen. And then all of a sudden, just as suddenly as they showed up, the UFOs disappeared and the launch control system completely shut down.
It just shut down.
Shut down.
They disarmed it.
Fuck.
They powered it up and they turned it off.
And they're saying that they're not able to turn it down. Something else turned it down for them.
Something else turned it on and turned it off.
Wow.
It wasn't them.
That's pretty crazy.
And that was almost going to be World War III because obviously we have what we call deterrence, right? Nuclear deterrence.
Right.
Which is like, hey, if you bomb us, guess what? We're going to bomb you back.
And then choo 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 choo.
Yep.
Have you heard that theory that like because all these UFOs are like appearing near like what are those things called, like nuclear reactors?
Silos, yeah, nuclear facilities.
Yeah, that like they're drawn to that energy, and maybe there's something about that they're coming like, oh shit, we can feel there's this crazy ass energy coming from Earth.
I heard that it was like they're like checking up on our progress, and they're like, oh shit, these guys are no longer in the Iron Age.
Yeah, it's like Star Treks.
They're like, oh.
One of my favorite points that some people make is like, how could an interstellar craft that can travel light years to get here have trouble on Earth and crash?
That's a fair.
It's like, whoa.
Sometimes you get a flat tire, you know. Sometimes
No complications until this point.
Probably because they're going on their feet and they see booties bouncing. Like, oh shit!
Oh shit!
They got some good shit over here. They got good shit.
You talk about like Roswell,
Well, just
when they crash.
any crash in general. That like, oh, now you crash.
Probably because they're traveling with their kids.
Yeah.
And they gotta turn around. Let me tell you what right now. You shut the fuck up back. Oh shit!
It's like that Indian doctor who crashed his Tesla when his wife was nagging him.
Yeah.
Or you know what? They probably had the dash light on, and that's
Can't see shit. Yeah.
it's gonna cause an accident.
Yeah, maybe they were just drunk.
Oh, that could be.
I like
Cars
the,
functioning fine. They're just the driver's fault.
They're drunks.
Got a little cocky or
I
something.
like the idea that they're not from other planets. They just exist at an altitude so fucking high that it's like in the ionosphere. Like
Yeah,
all
they've
these
always
things.
been here and
Yeah,
they're
they just fucking like how shit lives at the bottom of the ocean that you never saw.
Oh yeah. I've never heard that theory before.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, there's so much on this topic though. Like I was doing, me and Nikki were doing a podcast about this, and these people, like, people think that first of all that they come here to show us that they are in charge. So like they power up our
Dominance
turn 'em off.
thing?
Yeah, dominance move.
Ooh.
There are also people who think that they're basically saying like, protect the earth, which is the story, like the Hollywood. We always see that portrayed in movies, like that Keanu Reeves movie, where he's like,
Is it Knowing?
everybody chill.
Is that the name of the movie?
Was it Knowing?
No.
Constantine.
No, it was
No,
like it was like a
Constantine.
remake of an old movie, but it's like
Yeah, it's him. He's
Oh, Bogus Journey.
to Earth, and he's gonna destroy it, but then realizes
then, yeah.
that there's good people.
he like sees trees or
Yeah.
some shit. And he's like,
It's like, wow.
oh,
A scanner darkly.
Beautiful. I changed my mind.
Yeah. Just because people suck doesn't mean trees suck.
Maybe it's
like
not
that kind of
knowing.
shit. But yeah, those and then there's
Gotta save the
also the theory too that they signed an agreement already with us, which is kind of what Mr. Grush was kind of talking around
With our leaders,
with our leaders.
the Bilderberg Group.
And there's been an agreement in place with them, and we don't exactly know what's going on, but there's some
Leave
kind
us
of
alone.
technology transfer. So they gave us some tech.
If they had an agreement, I'd feel way better about it.
Right.
Because then they had met. They have terms.
They're like, aliens, can you teach us how to put cameras in the phone? And they're like, we got you. And then so every year they give us a new fun thing we can do.
Dude, what do you think we give them?
People?
Yeah.
People.
You think we give them like some OnlyFans chicks or
I think
something?
Bart said, yeah, booties.
Booty.
We want the booty.
I think it's funny that like if aliens wanted to communicate, there's so many ways throughout time they could have done it. It's so fucking easy. Like just get on channel 11.
Yeah.
Just the way the Max Headroom fucking guy did it. Like just go on the radio, which we have waves for that.
Or go fucking streaking in a soccer field.
yeah.
I'm here. He gets tackled.
Like go on the internet.
Yeah, what's the point of being so invisible? Ooh, we can't let them see us. It's
Yeah.
like, why? If you're like powerful, like why?
Like,
you
show
wouldn't
up.
give a fuck.
Show up
You show up
objectively.
naked.
They don't want us to see them is the idea, right? Because like they leave clues like crop circles and shit.
They're flirting.
You know, farmers are dumb as fuck. They don't even know how to read. So how are they gonna read a crop circle, right? And then
Kalyne, you agree with this, right?
I absolutely agree.
yeah, and so then
hard not to.
they're like, why would we want to show you who we are? We go hide in the oceans and we hide in the moon and shit.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's tight. That's a way cooler hiding place is the
That's
moon.
way cool.
And if you've been paying attention, like the Navy's been saying they've been seeing hella sightings over the ocean, especially off the coast of San Diego, which is where that cat who talked to Joe Rogan, who just talked to Congress, said that he saw the Tic Tac UFO.
Oh, the guy that's being interviewed?
Yes, the former Navy pilot.
Pilot, yeah. That shit was crazy.
Great.
Have you heard of Battle of Los Angeles?
Yes.
They thought that Japan was invading LA. When they saw up into the skies, they saw all these flying things, and then they realized they were flying saucers battling each other.
There was like spotlights back then, right? Because they were looking for planes from potentially Japan, right? Because Pearl Harbor had been hit. So they had spotlights, and they were pointing at a UFO during like World War II, and then there was like huge batteries of anti-aircraft shit firing in the night. You can still find bullets like in LA from that night because they fired so many rounds.
Whoa.
The next day they reported they were firing at something they don't know what the fuck it was.
That's fucking crazy.
I've heard people try to explain the Tic Tac movements. They try to explain it with like, oh, those are just Chinese drones. I've heard people say that.
But the Tic Tac's been around before China had any technology. Yeah.
So it's bullshit. It's a stupid.
Well, why wouldn't China? I mean, my whole thing about this is like, why doesn't China or Russia, if it's them, just fucking take over everything.
Yeah.
Like you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, if you had that tech,
technology.
yeah.
Just take it all over. You're
Right.
good.
Right.
You think you're gonna have a problem in Ukraine?
Yeah.
If you guys had Tic Tac drones,
Yeah, it always just seems a little too perfect. It just, if you've been through the Jesus era of your life, it's hard to just see that everything's faith-based. And it's like, okay, well, you have to believe in them for them to exist.
But my Jesus era is my favorite era.
One of the theories is that in order to get a one world government, you need people all over the world to unite. And then they're saying like a lot of the powers that be want to keep and stay in power. So they're gonna unite the world through space
Aliens.
threat.
That's interesting.
That's
Bluebeam,
cool.
right? That's what Bluebeam was about. It's like fake an alien attack to unite the world, like to whatever cause we want.
And none of us seen one, but we just gotta trust them.
I seen one. I saw a UFO. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Saw a UFO over Flagstaff, Arizona when I was moving here in 1996. I'll never forget it. I see a light in the sky, and it was just hanging out there forever. And I thought it was like a fucking star. It was so bright. And my whole family saw it with me. And then as we get closer and closer, like we're getting like to where we're gonna be underneath it. It's so much higher than any light could be. Like it was as bright as a street light though. And then all of a sudden, and it was hanging up there for like 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a cloud appears around it, and it gets sucked inside of itself and completely disappears. There's no vapor or anything. Completely
This
gone.
is at night?
This is during the day.
During
this
the
is
day.
during
What
the
the
evening.
Wow.
A cloud.
Whoa.
Yeah, and there was not a cloud in the sky. It was just this
It
fucking.
was a ninja with a smoke bomb.
yeah.
A sky ninja.
Sky Ninja.
Oh, they're around. They're around. So, out of all the other stuff that you've researched and you heard of, is there any other accounts of something similar?
Yeah, did someone see the same thing?
What if it's a military plane that's so technologically advanced that it would? Yeah.
Why didn't it move? That's my thing. It wasn't even moving.
It was just staying there.
It was just staying there. And some people have been like, well, maybe it was a flare. But if it was a flare, wouldn't there be some kind of vapor beforehand?
Also remnants of the flare too.
But you know what a flare
off.
There was
Right.
no trail. I know what a flare looks like, and there was no trail or tail to the flare at all. Zero.
Someone said that too?
What if these are all just time machines? Is that so weird?
That'd be sick.
Am I crazy?
I like the interdimensional aspect of it too.
That's
I like
one
that
of the
too.
theories. So
That's a good one.
What's that theory?
That actually resonates more with me.
So one of the beliefs about aliens is future humans, they lost the ability to procreate and breed because they saw that, we're seeing this now with IVF and just like even surrogates, and now we're having test tube babies, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, the inconvenience of giving birth, partnering up, all that stuff, they're like, it's more efficient if we just like create humans.
Yeah.
And then we biologically engineered ourselves to look like gray aliens.
Wow.
Like
That's
so
sick.
like for interstellar travel, for like all these things. So they're like, when gray aliens are coming now, they're just harvesting DNA that they need in order to create more humans.
That's a cool theory.
Well, there's also an idea. So you remember you were saying about the
movie.
crashes. Like, why are these guys so smart, but they keep crashing? So there's another theory too. that-
They're Asian.
Yeah, they're all Asian.
No, there's another theory too.
Crashing in Monterey Park.
So did you guys hear about this Reddit post? There's a Reddit post about a guy who says he works at like one of these military bases, but they do biologics there, and he says that they had these beings, like the bodies of these beings, on site, and that they're basically like avatars, like they're biologically created so that they can project like through space, through time and space, and then the aliens don't have to. They can just chill at home and fucking eat Doritos or whatever, and then the biologics
So that's like their avatar.
are just avatars, like spacesuits.
Oh shit.
Wow.
They don't even have to be in the suit. They just send these biologics.
So that's their VR.
Yes, and I did. By the way, I did a whole hour podcast on this. If you're interested in that topic, I fucking crushed it on that.
Explanation, and it makes more sense.
Yeah. So check it out, and shit they don't tell you because we don't have time. But I'm telling you, man, it's a fascinating topic, and this entire Reddit post was so detailed. But I'm also like a not smart person, so maybe it wasn't that detailed. But it was so detailed that I was like,
It was compelling.
This is compelling as fuck.